Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new league racing video. Today, round 4 of PSGL around Miami. First league race on Miami for myself. I think first league race around Miami for many, if not everyone, today. And it's not gonna be easy, of course. New track, so no one really knows what the benchmark is gonna be. So that's going to be very interesting. This is going to be our first run in Q1. We're heading out pretty late, but we should have more than enough time to go for a second run if needed. Standings here. I lost a fair bit of points in Austria, of course, because I did not race in that one. As I was at the VTNR finals in Abu Dhabi. So we managed to win that, luckily. But now, of course, we're looking at it. 11-point deficit to Bari in P1, and of course if you miss a race in a 10-race season, it's not gonna be easy to catch that up. That's quite a big loss, but we're gonna have to get on with it and try to close that gap down today. Again, quite tough, as I of course had limited practice because I was so long in Abu Dhabi. So today was basically the only day.
Looks a lot of fun. Everyone preparing their laps.
Yep.
Today was the only day I could practice for this race, as yeah, I came back from Abu Dhabi pretty late, and then of course I was practicing for other stuff as well. Formula E final coming up soon as well, so practicing for that. And now just warming up our tires last bit. Of course, a lot harder on this game to get temperature in the tires, and that's why you see everyone weaving so much more on this game compared to last game. It takes longer. Coming out of the pits, the tires are colder. But now, our tires are up to temperature, and we're going to be starting our first flying lap here. DRS open into turn 1. Going to be a fourth gear corner. You can do third as well, but we're going to be doing it in fourth. And you can see that was very much not ideal. I got a leg spike through that exit of turn 1, and that put me off quite a bit for that section. I tend to get quite a lot of lag spikes in a Q1 session for some reason, when there are a lot of cars on track. I don't know what to do about it, to be honest. I'm gonna try and get a streaming PC soon, so that issue will be resolved.
It's lagging so fucking bad again.
But now we just have to get on with it and get this lap together to get us into Q2. I'm not sure if this will be enough, because we lost quite a fair bit in turn 1, 2, 3 with that oversteering moment. And this is such a tricky section as well. You're so close to invalidating every single time going over the curb. The question is if it will be invalidated or not, but you need to cut it. Otherwise, you would just lose so much time. 101.7 middle split, which is pretty slow. Last split should be around a 0.0, so we're looking at a 0.7 here probably, as Marcel Kiefer does a 126.47 across the line, so he's gonna be definitely faster than us. And this has not been a great lap with that big loss in sector 1, of course. Coming across the line now, it is gonna be a 126.782, which was not gonna be enough. You can see we went out again on another new set of tires at the end of Q1, and we've dropped down to P16, but this time we did get the first sector together, and we're up by quite a bit, and up to P6 we go. Unfortunately, we had to use 2 sets of tires in that session. On to Q2 now. Not many shock exits in Q1, so decided to skip the results. I went out on a used set of tires at the start of Q2, which was a bit useless, as used tires everywhere just so slow around here. So after our first new set of tire run in Q2, we were at P6, but that was not going to be enough to probably go into Q3. So I went again on another new set of tires to try and get into Q3. Not ideal, because now we will only have 1 new set of tires left for Q3, of course. And again, it looks like we're out of pole contention with only 1 new set of tires. So we've made our life very difficult, having to use 4 new sets of tires in Q1 and Q2. But so far, lap has been pretty tidy. 700s up on both their own time, but also an Overclockers in P4. I think we're going to be one of the last to cross the line. There are 4 people behind us, so we will get a pretty good indication well before we finish that lap on where we're going to be. Now into this very slow section, very tricky, easy to lose the back end. You can see Rear just squirming around on that exit, and third gear trying to get some nice rotation there close to the wall, and we've lost a bit of time to our previous run, I think so. Maybe we've gained 100 actually, and up towards the final corner now. Top speed of around 335 kph, braking at 100 meters. Down to third gear, we get some nice rotation in there, and that gains us a little bit of time. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit. Up to the line, we're currently P10. We had to finish the lap because, of course, quite a few people behind us, but it is P5 at that time, but we dropped to P7. So a bit of a shock at Thomas Ronhaar, who did really well in all past qualifyings in the past rounds out in Q2 and P11. I think he was fastest in Q1 as well at some point. So unfortunate for him, but that's reality of league racing these days. Everything is so tight. Every single mistake you make will be the end, most likely, of your qualifying session, because it's just so close. Use set of tire run, 27.0, nothing special. But as you can see there, as we go into our final run, only 6 people have set a lap time. So a lot of people have invalidated their first runs. McLaren currently 1-2. I think they were the only ones with 2 new sets of tires left, as per usual basically. But this one is where it counts. The track is at its fastest, and you can see already over 10 up on this set of new tires through this fast section, trying to keep the back end stable. And then this fast left-hander is all about getting as much rotation as possible and setting up that exit, because this is such a long straight. As you can see, a little bit of a moment on the exit, but that's fine. 29.652 in the first sector. That's not great. That's not good enough. But it all depends on what the others are going to do as well. DRS open. One of the highest top speeds on the circuit, braking at 100 meters. Down to third gear. And then we might upshift to fourth to stabilize the rear there. And then we need to try and not invalidate through this section. We got quite a bit. I got a massive snap of oversteer, and that has definitely cost me time. Now this exit, once again, very important. We're 1.7 tenths up to Wilson Huge. And now we're gonna open the DRS for the second last time on this lap. Lucas Blakely, a 1:26.027. You're gonna be braking at 100 meters for the final corner of this quali session. Third gear, and trying to get as much traction as possible. Pretty good exit. Is it gonna be enough for pole position? Up to the line, DRS open. It is not. 1:26.144. And that mistake in the chicane definitely did cost us pole position there. Still some people on laps. Joshi Dowu goes ahead of us. And now I think it's all waiting for Alvaro Carreton and Freddie Rasmussen. We have dropped to P5 at the end of this qualifying session. And not my finest qualifying session, to be honest. Not really good enough. That mistake in the chicane cost us, of course, pole position there, but it is what it is. We're gonna go on to the race. Joni Tomela P10. I think both Joni and Alvaro didn't get to set a lap on a new set of tires, so P5, good enough to win the race from if we've got good pace. We're gonna be starting on the hards, just like basically everyone on the grid. It's an easy one-stop, hard to mediums. I think you could do hard to softs, but it's probably not the fastest strategy around. Now lining up on the grid, absolutely spot on, 0.0 on the lineup on the grid. Now we're just waiting for the last 2 cars to line up before the lights go on. Freddie Rasmussen, or F1 Esports rival from the past 2 years, right ahead of us. And the 2 McLarens have been fast all season so far. It is going to be 5 red lights, and away we go for round 4 of PSGL. Pretty good start from us, Freddie. A little bit lacking of the line into turn 1. Having a little look around the outside, but there's just not enough space. And we keep P5 for now. Right behind Giorgio. You can see the dirty air affecting us a little bit on the exit. And behind me they are going side by side into the fast left-hander. Sebastian Job comes out on top, and we've managed to cap P5. Now it's going to be interesting to see what the strategy of the front two are going to be. Are they going to be pushing, trying to create a gap, or will they sit back, save their tires, and just be patient, wait how everything pans out? You can see Sebastian Job closing in quite a bit on us, so I had to use more overtake as he had quite a bit more straight line speed there. Now, yellow flag there at the end of the straight. I think something might have happened on that straight, not sure. Joni Tormela maybe going slowly, I think so. It looks like that's Joni Tormela in last place, so he of course started in P10 and has dropped to the back of the grid. Now his teammate Sebastian Job still right behind us. You can see he's gaining quite a lot. I'm not sure if he's using ERS or if that's just setup. But you'll see more in this race that we're probably not really have the straight line speed. And it's probably all setup related. So
Jake's got pretty bad damage.
Okay.
As you can hear my engineer say, Jake has got pretty bad damage from the start of the race.
Their ERS, do you know?
Lucas on about 40.
Okay, so they were pushing as well.
So as you can hear there, the McLarens in front are pushing hard. And you can see the gaps are getting quite big.
All of them are on lower downforce.
And as you can hear me say there, all of them are on lower downforce. Because you can see there, Josh gaining on us on the straight. The question is, of course, if he was using ERS, but it looks like a pretty equal time gain. Not really anything out of the corners. As I get my first invalidation, that's not very much ideal. As there are definitely more people going to be invalidating and getting warnings in this race just because of the chicane. As you can see there, Sebastian Job pretty close to us, and we have managed to recharge our battery.
Riding that exit since the start of the race.
As you can hear me complaining, but we managed to get ahead into the hairpin after that attack from Sebastian Job. As I want to say, we have managed to recharge our battery a bit. I just wanted to recharge, but the front two are so much faster than me. I felt like that kind of didn't really have a choice. I felt like everyone around me had more pace at any given time. So I feel like we're definitely lacking race pace at the moment as Josh goes off and gets a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, I saw it.
I think he just lost the rear or something.
And that's coming in pretty handy, of course. Josh getting a 3-second penalty. As, well, now he's not really fighting for P4 at the moment, and that might come in handy later on in this race. But for now, we have to keep pushing.
Opinion, box.
Lap 14 now. Fabrizio Donoso behind us has gone for the undercut, so that's why we're going to try and cover that off. And a box for a new set of mediums. Even though we have only done 14 laps on this set of hards, we want to try and undercut the guys ahead as well. Of course, Josh boxes as well. And of course, we're going to have to try and slow down in time. A bit too slow in the pit entry, to be honest. But luckily, we managed to get optimal pit stop time out in 2.2 seconds. Josh coming out ahead of us. And once again, we got held. This time not as bad. At least our car didn't stop in the fast lane.
Hard to fix a pit lane, right?
This time. But it definitely cost us around 3-4 tenths with our car slowing down. And now Fabrizio is right with us on warm tires. And that has cost us. That has cost us a position once again. Of course, we had this issue in WR as well, where we got held. That time around, it cost us around 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds. This time only 4 or 5 tenths. We have to try and stay within the DRS from Fabrizio. Undercut is a little bit ruined now, not gonna lie. Because you need to warm up your tires. And basically that costs you...
It was 3 seconds back.
And it basically costs you a bit of time before you start gaining time to the older hard runners. So the undercut is not as effective as in the last game. And that's why if you lose 4 or 5 tenths in the pits, that undercut is basically gone. So Now, right behind Josh, I hope they're going to be pushing a little bit on this lap ahead of me in order to try and minimize the damage from warming up the side. You can see Sebastian Job was behind us and is now ahead of us, coming out ahead of us on cold tires, of course. So we have the advantage of the hot tires, just like Fabrizio had last time around. We got the inside, and that is a position basically gained, but we basically just got it back. Alvaro Carreton ahead of Sebastian Job now, and that just shows the tires just warm up so slowly, and it's the first 1-2 sectors are a complete nightmare. Then once they start going, you start gaining quite a lot of time, and basically everyone is boxed now, apart from Lucas Blakely in P1. And right here you can see Alvaro almost hit me. He missed his braking point, trying to defend from Sebastian Job, and now he's lost 2 positions. So that's not very much ideal for him. Now, let's try and have a little look at the back of Josh Idowu and try and get a position. You can see I'm using the overtake button, but we're just not gaining enough. We open the DRS and he's just gaining straight away again. We basically lost a 10th, even though we used our overtake button on that exit. So it's a bit painful having this disadvantage in the straight line, but it's all setup related, probably. So we probably gain it back somewhere in the first sector and the middle sector, but of course you've got dirty air if you're close behind, and that costs you. You can see Fabrizio Donoso flashing up ahead, which means he's under 10%. Josh was flashing at the end of the long straight, as Dani Bresne sets the fastest lap of the race here on lap 17, lap 16 I should say. And Lucas Blakely has come out pretty far ahead of us, so we've gained absolutely nothing from boxing earlier. Because of all the battling with Fabrizio and Sebastian, which cost us a little. Sebastian now out of the DRS, so that gives us a little bit of breathing room behind 1.2 seconds, so we'll have to gain at least 2 tenths before he gets back.
He's low on the ERS and he's still gaining, but it wasn't the case before.
So Sebastian now will have to gain at least 3 tenths to get back in the DRS. As you can hear me,
or look at the ERS levels.
You can hear me complain about the straight line speeds. Yeah, nothing we can do at the moment. Josh
9%.
flashing.
Barry, we don't know.
Do we know Josh? No, he's not streaming.
He's flashing there.
That's true.
So Josh below 10%, Lucas below 10%. We've got right now in lap 22 here almost 100%, so we can start using that to try and get past Josh, and that's exactly what we're gonna try and do. He is flashing now. But
using my ERS and not gaining shit.
as you can hear me once again complain about the straight line speeds. It is frustrating if you've got a lack of straight line speed, because you can't overtake if you don't have the straight line speed. So even though we've got near 100% ERS, it's not enough to really make a move. So we're gonna have to use a lot of our ERS to get past Josh here. Otherwise, yeah, we just don't have naturally the straight line speed. He's flashing all the time, but nonetheless, he is gaining on the straights. So he has a lack of power, but his setup allows him to just run away on the straights. And that's hurting us, as he's gone a little bit wide. Probably to risk it for an invalidation or a warning to try and stay ahead of us, because I think he knew that we had a lot of ERS and we were going to go for it on this lap. And you can see we're using so much ERS and we're barely gaining. And now we're going to be braking very late around the outside, having a little look at Fabrizio Donoso as well, as I had a little tap with Josh, but nothing major. We managed to get ahead, and that is P5 for now. We're basically in a net P5 anyway with the penalty of Josh. So now Fabrizio Donoso up next. Probably the same story again, where he's gonna be much faster on the straight. You can see he's flashing and once again pulling away.
Freaking 45% to get past the guy with no ERS.
And yeah, again, we're just gonna have to save the ERS and go for a move later on, because I don't think we have enough right now to do anything to Fabrizio Donoso. You can see 1.5 lap to go now. We've managed to regenerate a bit of ERS, 80% now, and Fabrizio is still flashing. So we're gonna turn on the overtake button here to try and go for a move into the hairpin. Fabrizio goes defensive, and up ahead they're using their ERS as well. So we're gonna go around the outside here. We can break deep, both of us trying to go around the outside, but not enough grip on the exit to hold on to it. And Fabrizio now not getting DRS, so that's an advantage to us. And he has to go defensive into turn 1, and that gives us the opportunity on the back straight to try and do something, as he is 2.5 tenths too far away from Frederik Rasmussen to get DRS. So that means we have the DRS advantage, we have the ERS advantage, and that should be an easy overtake, even with the lack of straight line speed we have had all race long. Now, turning on the overtake button, this is where it needs to happen. In the slipstream, we've got the DRS overtake enabled around the outside.
What the fuck was that?
As he lags a little bit to the right, but we are pretty much clear into the next left-hander, braking very late, and we still have a little bit of ERS spare. You can see there, Lucas Blakely, 3-second penalty. So if he can stay within those 3 seconds, we will get P3. As they're fighting up ahead, so I was hoping something was gonna happen, but it looks like they're all clear. They're still fighting on this long back straight. We got the overtake button enabled. Fabrizio behind us with the DRS, not gaining anything, as we've got the overtake button just enabled the wall straight. We absolutely draining the battery at this point. Frederik going for a little move into the hairpin, but can't really pull it off, and it is gonna be P3 in round 4 here around Miami. Barry extending the championship lead, so that's not very much ideal. Lucas didn't get his penalty removed, as he did invalidate all those laps, so that was a fair penalty. But P3 this, we lose another 6 points to Barry, so we need to start winning, to be honest, if we want to win this championship. But we still have enough time to catch up. It all depends on how Barry's results will be and others' results, but the simple way of putting it, we have to start winning, and that's what we're going to try and do next week in Spa. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more league racing videos, and see you guys next time. Ciao.